welcome back to Shutterbug Club. I'm your host, Sue, and I'm super excited to be chatting with Michael Betzner today. Hey,
Hello.
Michael.
Hi.
So Michael is such an inspiration in the photography industry, I'm sure for a lot of you listening, but for myself especially. He is so good at his storytelling and his poses, the way that he works with his models, and honestly, his creativity. Michael, you have no idea how many of your photos I have saved on Instagram, like
Thank
in
you.
my saved. Literally, if I'm like needing some kind of inspiration or especially with like posing, I will just go onto your Instagram and I'm like, okay, I know he's got something good.
Oh my
So
God, thank you. That's so cute.
I'm so excited to talk with you today. I really, before we get into photography, because obviously you're a photographer, I really want to know what you do when you're not doing photography. Like,
No problem.
what do you do for fun?
It's not very glamorous. To be very honest with you, I just I hang out with my friends a lot. Um, we like go to this like little place called the Baxter. It's like a little bar that has like beer and wine, but they also have like a million pinball machines, and we go play pinball or like we play pool. Um,
Yes.
yeah, or like I go on hikes or go on walks. I'm trying to get back into biking, but
Mm.
I'm just not a biker girl, you know? Like I just can't do it. I have a really
Is
nice bike, but I just don't ever touch it.
is North Carolina good for biking and hiking?
Yeah, yeah, because we have the Appalachian Mountains. So we have mountains, we
Oh,
have beach, and I'm in Durham, which is like right in between. So I can go like 2 hours west and be at the mountains, or 2 hours east and be at the ocean. So
that's
yeah,
like ideal for photography. You're like,
I
whatever
know.
I want.
No, it's so
Just drive
nice.
2 hours.
It's so
That's so
convenient.
cool.
I know, I love it. I love it. I'm from Michigan, where we don't really have any of that. It's like all flat.
Oh,
It's like all flat farmland. So being here, I'm like, this is like heaven. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. That's similar to where I'm at too in Colorado because I'm really close to like Arizona and Utah. So I can have mountains or I can have like red rocks and it's really cool.
I love Utah and I love Arizona.
Hmm.
I did a whole content day in Arizona. I love it so much. Like, I'm obsessed.
Are you gonna do more content days?
Okay, so here's the tea. Yes, I am. I
Okay.
I took like a 2 year break from doing them. Just like I went through a divorce and I went through a lot of life changes, and I was just like, I need to really focus on me right now. And I did that. And now I feel back to like the old me, where I'm like excited about photography and like excited about creating, and I want to build like, up the community again. And like I miss the community so much because I used to do so many events with them, and like I'd meet new people all the time and work with new people, and I just haven't been. So I'm doing another, I haven't actually said this anywhere. This is the exclusive. I'm
Oh,
doing another content day in 2026. Um,
okay.
I'm not going to tell you where, but it's happening.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, because I seen your last ones you did a few years ago, and I was like, oh, I really want to go, but it
I
just like
know.
wasn't good for timing. So I'm so excited that you said that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, it's going to be in October, most likely, of next year.
Hmm.
So mark October down.
Perfect. Already planning.
Period.
I love that you mentioned like getting back into the creativity and the community and stuff too, because I do want to get into that a little
Yeah,
bit today. But
I'm down.
before we
Ready.
do, I'm really curious, how would you describe your photography style?
I don't describe it super well. I've never really found like I'm just like, yeah. I always say like creative editorial. But like the definition of editorial is more like creating a realistic like lifestyle scene and then having like models within that, which isn't really something I do, because a lot of the things I do are more like it's not realistic types things. Like I have like filing cabinets in a lake full of water and then a bunch of flowers everywhere. So I think like I guess fantasy is kind of in there as well a little bit. Like I don't know. It's like its own subgenre of like a mix of like editorial and like fantasy, I feel like.
Honestly, I think you described that perfect. Like,
Okay,
I
good.
see every single one of those things that you just mentioned in your work. Yeah, that was so good.
Okay,
So
period.
I want to know, how did you like get started into that style? Like, what kind of drew you to photography, but specifically your style of photography?
I just when I first started doing photography, I was just taking pictures of like literally everything. And then I got really like excited and like there was like something in me that was like, I want to take pictures of people, but I wanted to be really like weird and I wanted to be different and I wanted to be interesting and like creative. And the more I shot, the more I just felt like there's just like not it was almost like this frustration within me where I would see other photographers doing things and I would be like, oh, that would be so cool if you would have just done this and this and this. And then I was like, well, why am I not doing that? Like, that's stupid. Like, instead of judging other people, I should just do it myself. So I just started like getting my friends together and being like, hey, like, I need you to model for this thing and I need you to wear this, and I need you to just bring these things, and I'm gonna bring these things, and like getting really weird with it. And yeah, it just has grown from there. I've just like it started really simple, and then over the years has gotten kind of crazy, but like I love it.
That's so good. Yeah, that's such a good way to start. How many years have you been doing photography?
6 years.
Okay.
So
Wow.
since 2019, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people started around that time. I feel like that's also when I started.
Oh yeah, period.
Uh,
Okay.
so can you talk a little bit about your social media journey, like kind of when you started posting and just what happened with you? Like what were you thinking and when you kind of started to blow up?
Oh, girl, the social media journey is a wild ride. So in 2019, I started photography. I was a server at a First Watch restaurant. I don't know if you guys have First Watch there, but it's like a little breakfast place.
No.
And then I left there to go to Jose and Sons, which is this cute little Mexican like fine dining restaurant in Raleigh. And in 2020, I lost my job because of COVID, and I couldn't get another job because I've never gone to college. I don't have like anything other than like serving and bartending experience. Um, and I had been doing photography like on the side for the last year. And I was like, well, this is like my only hope that I'll be able to pay my bills. So like I needed to start posting. Um, so I started just recording everything I was doing and filming everything I was doing and making videos and just posting it on TikTok and Instagram. And like a month later, I had like 400,000 followers on TikTok. And it was just like blowing up and popping off and going.
Wow.
And it did that for up until like 2023. It was just like popping off.
Were you recording your creative ideas, like how you mentioned before
Yeah.
you had these ideas that nobody was doing? Is that what you were posting at the time?
Yeah. Yep. So I just like it was just like behind the scenes, like the setup of the photo shoot and then like the results of that and like my posing style and the way I talk to clients and things like that. And it was just like for some reason it was just blowing up. I was posting like 4 or 5 videos a week and it was like a minimum of 1 million views every single video. And I was losing my mind because I didn't
Yeah,
know
I'm
what I
curious actually what was going through your mind.
I mean, it was so fun, but at the same time, it was just like insane because, like, I have never been in a position where that many people, like, I had that many eyes on me. Like, I grew up, like, homeschooled, had never gone to school in my life. Like, I'm very social, but, like, never really been in a position where there's, like, I've never had to do, like, public speaking or anything like that. And so it felt very overwhelming, but like in a fun way. And it scared me, but like I would always tell myself, like, okay, when you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So like you've got this. Just like do it. Like be scared and do it anyway.
That's
Um,
I love that. That's exactly what I tell myself too.
yeah, yeah, be scared
When
and
you're
do it anyway.
uncomfortable, you're growing.
Yeah, yep. And so I just kept doing it. And then in 2023, I just like it really started to affect my mental health in 2022. Because
Mm.
it was like I got so obsessed with the idea of views and likes and like being like if I'm not getting a certain amount, it's not good enough. And I started to equate that to like my worth as like a photographer, where it was like if something didn't go viral, that meant I was like getting worse and I was like not as good as I used to be, or like it was just like too much on me. And so I decided to like take a break from it. And that was like the best decision I've ever done. Like at the height of my TikTok following, I had like 1.6 million followers on there.
Oh, wow.
And I took a break and stopped for almost a year. And now I think I have like 600,000 followers on there. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, like, why'd you stop? Like, are you, like, so upset that you lost so many followers?" And I'm like, "No, like, I'm so much happier now that, like, if something like that were to happen to me again, I would be in such a better place and I would be able to handle it." But at the time, that wasn't something I could do. And, like, I'm proud of myself for taking a step back when I needed to and like putting myself first, even though everyone else around me was like, who cares how you feel? You're famous, keep going. Like it was just that was a really hard decision, but I know I made the right one. And
Yeah.
I still get to do photography full time. I still get to do content creation. I get paid for both and like I love it. And I'm so much happier now that I've taken that break that I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I think that's so good because you hear all the time, like, you just have to push through it. You have to post no matter how you're feeling, like,
Yeah.
no matter what mental state you're in, you just have to keep posting or people will forget about you. And I'm like, I have a smaller scale of those feelings because,
Yeah.
like, this last month I gained like 20,000 followers in 1 month. And I've
Period.
noticed, thank you, but I've noticed the impact on my mental health. Like, I feel this expectation, like, suddenly I have to perform. Like, I have to be so much
Yes.
better. I can't post a bad video and then that's making me not want to post. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this video isn't good enough to post. People aren't going to care. People don't want to see this. And I'm like, what do they want to see? So I'm so glad you shared that. Can you share some of your like things you did to cope with that feeling of putting your worth in social media and in the views?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a really great therapist that was amazing, and I got to talk to her about a lot of it.
Oh,
Oh, Kitty, that's
can we
Francine.
pause? What? Yeah.
Yeah,
Who?
that's Francine.
Francine. Ah, I love
Francine.
her. That's such a cute name.
I have Oliver
Okay.
too, but Oliver's like over
Oh,
there staring at me in a corner, and I'm not going to show you that
oh.
corner because I haven't cleaned it. He'll be over here in a
Love that.
minute. um,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I had a really great therapist. I had resources of just like mental health resources that I took advantage of because to be honest with you, don't know if I would be here if I didn't because it was such a quick, overwhelming growth. And it was just, I was not in a place to be able to handle anything of that to that scale. Um, I was in a really unhappy marriage and I was in a really unhappy place in my life and I wasn't ready for that. But my therapist was amazing and she really encouraged me to just like do what I needed and I started like going outside and going on hikes like 3 or 4 times a week. I started like shutting my phone off at like 9:30 or 10 p.m. and not opening it again until the morning when I woke up. So it was very like just started prioritizing me over social media. And I also hid all of my likes and I hid all of my shares so I couldn't see it.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
and that was a really big moment for me because that was what gave me like that serotonin boost was like opening the app and saying, oh my God, I have, 3,000 likes. That's amazing. Like, and at the time it was like 50,000 likes on a video. And I'd be like, oh my God, yes, I'm amazing. And so hiding that so I can't see it it's so much easier for me to disconnect my like self-worth as like a person and a photographer from what other people think. Um,
Yes.
and that just it changed a lot. And like I encourage you as someone who's been through that before is like hide your likes, hide your shares. Not they don't have to be hidden from everybody, but like you can go in Instagram like on the app and you can just hide it from yourself so that you don't see it.
Oh,
And
I
I
didn't know you
turned
could do that.
yeah, and I turned my notifications
Okay.
off on the app too. So like
Yeah.
when the app isn't open, I don't get notifications. Um,
Mm.
so that I just didn't know what was going on. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to see it. And I'll just get on, I'll post, and then I get off. Like,
So,
yeah.
what is your mindset when you post? Like, what are your thoughts about the video?
My thoughts are as long as I'm happy with it, as long as I look at that and I see like authenticity and I see myself and I see something I enjoy, something that I'm like, I want to like scroll through my own feed and smile. Like, I want to go through my own feed and be like, oh, this is so cute. I remember this. Oh, like, I love these clients. Or, like, I don't want to go through and be like, everything here is aesthetic and perfect. I want to go through and be like, this is like what I'm doing. This is the real version of what I'm doing. Um, and so when I edit videos, what I usually do is I'll make like a first draft of it, and then I walk away from the edit for a couple hours and I come back and rewatch it again. And if it's
Oh, that's
something,
good.
yeah, and if it's something I watch and I'm like, okay, I still love this and I still think this is authentic to me, even if I don't think it'll perform well, I'm gonna post it because I also that's another thing with this is like I'm getting more clients now than I was then. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Oh.
because I post a lot more of my personality. I post a lot more of myself, and people see that and they're like, oh, he's like fun or cute or whatever they think about me. And they're like, I want to work with him. Whereas before, everything I posted was so like picked down to just the perfect aesthetic, beautiful, like perfect version of what I could make that it felt unattainable. And I think that's why they would go viral, but I wasn't being booked the same way I'm being booked now. And that's why I think
Mm,
authenticity, one, is so much better for your mental health because you're just being yourself and like, who cares? But also, like, clientele base wise, people are going to love that. Like, seeing my videos, they're not the same way they used to be. Like, if you scroll back to 2021, they were so curated to the point where, like, it was almost for me at least, and it might just be because of my experience during that time, but it's almost uncomfortable to watch because there's no realness to anything. Um,
mhm.
and now watching them, they may not be like perfect and beautiful and amazing, but like I enjoy watching them because it's the time I had and it's the real version of what's going on. And it's so like, I hate to overuse the word, but it's so authentic that it just makes me like happier.
Do you feel like social media is shifting to value that more?
I think there are parts of social media that are shifting to value that more. Um, Surprisingly, Instagram, I feel like is behind. I think
Me
TikTok
too.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
TikTok is very, I think just because there's a lot more younger people on TikTok, like Gen Z runs TikTok, and they're way more about being real and honest and open and authentic over the curated look of aesthetics. But Instagram's catching up. I do think it's going that direction. Um, I'm excited to see where it goes. And at the end of the day, I just remind myself like it doesn't matter what happens with your social media. Like I want to be happy with or without. And so like I try to like build a life that I can use social media or I don't have to. And like obviously as photographers, we have to have like clientele, but I don't want it to be something I feel like I 100% need to live my life. Um and I think that's where social media is going is like as a millennial for a while there when the internet first started going, we got like Facebook, we got Instagram, we got all these things. Like people were just like looking for that like perfect curated feed because it had never been done before. But now people are
Mm.
like, where's that real like raw emotion and humanity in posts? Um, and that's I think where we're headed.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that you said you don't wanna rely on social media,
Yeah.
but you wanna use it as a tool,
Yeah.
because the power that social media has is crazy,
It is.
and
Yeah.
I find myself getting stuck like that feeling too where I need to rely on social media because it's like basically all of my bookings come from social
Yeah.
media, but I wanna shift my mindset to not put so much of my worth into it, but
Yeah.
really think of it as a tool because for, like, your creativity, I wanted to mention I love how you posted that video about the chair. You did a photo shoot with a chair, and then you wanted to make a series around this chair, like, taking pictures of different clients in the
Yeah.
chair and creating this whole story around the chair, and I'm like, "This is amazing," because social media has the power to connect people in a
Yeah.
way that nothing else does.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so fun. And like, I wouldn't be able to do that without social media, but using social media as a tool to create what I want, it's really creating, it's creating for social media or creating with social media. It's the two different, like, I'm not creating for social media, which is what I used to do is like, okay, what idea can I do that I know will blow up? And now it's what idea do I want to do that I can just post on there and who cares what it does? And that's so much nicer mental health wise that like I literally don't care. Like, okay, if this gets 10,000 likes, great. If this gets, 2,000 likes, whatever. Like, I'm chilling. Like,
Yeah. Was
yeah.
it hard for you to get back into it after you took that break?
Yeah, it's a learning curve. Like, so I make my income is like 50% social media, 50% bookings. Like it's both. and getting back into social media, like it is a full-time job. Like making videos, editing videos, posting content, doing that, being consistent, it's hard. And I think that was another reason why like my mental health took such a negative turn during like my rise on social media. It was just like, and no one really talks about like how fucking hard it is. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard. And like being a business owner and then having to become like basically like you own two businesses is like you do your photography business, you have your clients, you have those things you're editing, but then now you have to film everything. Now you have to edit video as well. Now you have to curate a feed. Now you have to do all these things. And like it was, yeah, it was really hard to get back into. But now I've gotten into a rhythm where like I edit video and photo when I want to. I don't force myself to do it anymore. It's more just like I film things now that I'm excited to edit instead of,
Yeah.
yeah, like
It's
I,
it's
I,
not like you have to, it's like you
yeah,
get to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like
That's so good.
I'm editing things in a more fun way. So like I actually enjoy being like, oh, I'm excited to edit this video because I have this like funny meme I want to throw in there. Like it's cute and
Yeah.
funny and goofy.
Yeah.
And that's like so much more fun than just being like, how can I make this look as perfect as possible? Also, Oliver has entered the chat.
Oh, hello, Oliver. That's perfect, actually, because I have to let my cat out really quick. She's scratching at my carpet. Sorry.
Okay. Go for it, girl.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. um, can I ask you where you make the most money from social media? Because like I've joined the TikTok creator program and I've made money from there, but I'm curious like what other people do.
Yeah, so the TikTok creator program, to be honest, is garbage. Like she doesn't really give you that.
Really?
It doesn't really give you that much money. Like unless you're getting a lot of views. So like I was in the TikTok creator program when I was first blowing up and my videos were hitting like 1 million views minimum. Like there was 1 month where I posted I think 22 videos and the minimum view count was 3.7 million on one video. And every other video had hit more than that. I made I think $600 that month, but
Are you serious?
yeah,
Okay,
but
it's changed then.
yeah, yeah. And like now I make like $12 a month. Like I'm also not really like pushing for TikTok right now. Like
Yeah.
I post on there, I have fun with it, but I treat it more like a daily vlog. I don't know if you follow me on TikTok, but
Yeah,
I'm very
I
much
do.
just
Of course I do.
like I'm like get ready with me to go on a date. It's not like here's all my photos, here's all my things I'm doing. And like I do post my photography on there, but it's more just like I needed a platform that I could just be goofy and stupid and silly and be myself on there. And it pays well as long as you're getting really like a lot of views.
Mhm.
Or if you're using the like TikTok shop and you're selling things, but like it's not really for me. Instagram doesn't pay well either. Instagram pays actually like worse than TikTok does. YouTube pays the best.
I have heard
And
that, yeah.
yeah. And like I've started a YouTube because I think eventually where I want to go in my life is like I want to just create for fun. I don't want to have to take, 20 weddings through October, November and then like not, cuz like winter's slow season. So you're like, okay, I need
Yeah.
to book all these weddings, save all this money and do this. Like I want a more just like consistent stream of income and like I also just want to create what I want to create. So like I'm diversifying my social media portfolio in a way that in 3 or 4 years, I won't have to take jobs I don't want to take. I won't have to do things I don't want to do. And I mean, the most money I've ever made was from my brand deal with Nikon going to Iceland. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. Can you talk about that a little bit?
yeah, yeah. That was in 2023. Yeah, 2023. Iceland booked me to shoot a campaign for the Nikon Z8 when it came out, when it launched. And they gave me a budget and asked me what I wanted to do with it. And I was like, I want to go to Iceland. And they were like, cool, have fun.
Are you serious? That's like the
Yeah.
dream.
No,
Wow.
it was. It was so amazing. I'm so grateful. I love the whole team. The Nikon team is like I love them so much. Like some of them are my friends I talk to every week. Like they're so great.
Aw.
And I got to go to Iceland and I did 3 really amazing shoots while I was out there and I got to be there for 10 days and I just got to like drive around and be in the rain and the snow and the waterfalls and like I flew in models from Poland and the UK. Like it was
Wow.
insane. It was so fun. And they gave me full creative freedom too, so I got to style everything and do exactly what I wanted and it was just like a really amazing experience. But also if you're going to be a content creator, fair warning, you get taxed way more than any other job. I ended up only making
Mhm.
like, I think what I made off of that shoot was like $2,500 at the end after taxes and after everything I paid for, which I'm not complaining
Mhm.
at all. I got a free trip to Iceland. It was amazing. But like, content creation gets taxed so much that it's like kind of terrifying. Like,
It is.
and you don't know that until the end of the year and you're doing your taxes and you're like, oh, I'm a content creator now. I'm making good money. Look at this. And then it's like, oh yeah, you owe 40 grand in taxes. And you're like, oh, okay.
That was me this year, I know. I
Yeah,
was not
girl.
prepared for it.
I know it's rough. But yeah, I mean that's my biggest like brand trip I've ever done.
Do you know how they found you? Like, how they reached out to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. So I posted a photo shoot with, I'm sure everyone's going to know what I'm talking about because it's my most seen video, but it's like the video of the girl in the wheelbarrow.
Yes.
Yeah, my
I
friend
already knew it was
Isa.
that one before you
Yeah,
said it.
I'm obsessed with her. Okay, so my friend Isa, I think she was like 18 at the time. And I was like, I just have this really weird idea and nobody will book it because like when you're telling clients, like, because people come to me and they're like, I want to do something you want to do because you have really cool ideas. And I'm like, okay, I want to cover you in dirt and put you in a wheelbarrow. They're like, no.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm like, Isa, can we do this? Because I know it'll be cool. I know it sounds weird, but like, please. And she's like, yeah, girl, I've got a wheelbarrow. Come over. Um, so I did that and I posted it. And I had been tagging Nikon and everything for a year and a half. Um, and it blew up. I think I got like 17 million views on TikTok and I had tagged Nikon in that. And they reposted it and then they emailed me and they said, hey, we have a project we want you to work on, but you have to sign an NDA before we tell you anything. And I said, girl, send it. I'll sign
Oh,
anything. Um,
yeah.
and so they sent it over. I signed it. The next day we had like a Zoom call. And they basically were like, we want you to come to New York with us and we'll pay for it. And we're going to give you guys the like Nikon Z8 and you're going to shoot some models in the Catskills in New York. And I was like, yeah, girl, I'm coming. Like, yes. So then like a month and a half later, I flew out to New York and that was such an amazing experience. I got to meet Brandon Wolfell. I got to meet like a bunch of really amazing Nikon creators and we just like
Yeah.
we shot a bunch of models and the styling for them was really bad. Like Nikon, if you're listening to this, I love you, but it was really bad. So after we had done some shoots, I took two of the models aside and I said, you guys, do you have literally anything else to wear? And they said, yeah, we have like some stuff in our car. So I walked with them to their car and they had some like white dresses. And I was like, okay, can you wear these? And they're like, yeah. So they put it on and we walked back out into the woods and I was shooting. And then Brandon came over and was like, oh, this is cool. Like, what are you doing? And I was doing like my weird poses I do with people. And so Brandon
Mhm.
started shooting and I started having a mental breakdown because I'm like, Brandon's asking me to pose people while he takes pictures. I'm losing my mind. I've followed him
Mhm.
for years. Like, oh my God. And then my friend Anari came over. I love her too. She's amazing. And she's like, oh, this is cool. Like, can I take some pictures? And I was like, yes. And then before I knew it, everybody was over there, the whole Nikon team, and they were all filming. And I was just like posing and directing and shooting with all these people. And we were there, I think, for 4 days. And then after that, I went home. And like a week later, they emailed me and they said, okay, we have another project we want you to do. And we need you to sign another NDA. And so I did. And that's when they said, okay, here's your budget. What do you want to do with it? And we're going to send you uh, send us a list of lenses you want. You'll get to keep them like and tell us like whatever
What?
yeah, and they sent me the Z8 for free and they gave me 3 lenses for free and they were like, okay, like as long as you get your content to us by this time, like I think they gave me like 6 months. They were like, as long as you can get it to us in 6 months, you can do whatever you want. And I was like, cool, let's
Wow.
do it. And that's when I went to Iceland.
Okay, now I'm actually debating switching to Nikon. They sound like a really cool brand.
They're so good. And also like I've shot with Canon, I've shot with Sony, I've shot with Nikon and like Nikon gets a bad rap, I think, because for a long time it wasn't the best. But
Mhm, and they
over
were,
the
like, last to mirrorless.
I think they were the first to mirrorless actually.
Were they?
Yeah, I think they released their Z series like 2 weeks before Canon released theirs. And then Sony
Oh.
released it like a week later. I don't actually know if that's true or not.
Oh, that's
So
so weird. I don't
yeah.
know why, because I always just thought they were behind on the technology games, so yeah, Nikon is really underrated.
No, they really are. And so I'm like I love them. I always tell people like you should switch to Nikon because I've shot with everything and they're my
Mhm.
queens. But yeah, that's how that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, that's really cool. I have been debating it, and you might have just convinced me.
Girl, the Z8 is everything. The Z8 is everything. If you're gonna do it, I would do the Z8. It's incredible. And
Okay.
it shoots like 4K video as well. So like that was part of what I had
Oh,
to do in
mhm.
Iceland was like shoot video and photo so that we could like demonstrate that it can do both.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
cool. Is that something you wanna do more of in the future, is brand work?
Yeah. Yeah. I love working for brands. I'll say I love working for brands who let me be creative because I've worked for some brands too that are pretty big brands that I'm not going to call out, but like they want me to send them like a script word for word.
Yeah.
And if I don't hit every single word perfectly, they send the video back and they're like, do it again. And then the content just comes out feeling like fake because you
And
can
then it
tell I'm
doesn't
just
perform very
yes.
well.
And then they're like, "Why didn't this
Yeah.
perform?" And I'm like, "Girl, it didn't
Mhm.
perform because I look like a robot." Like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's
But
been my
yes,
experience, yeah, with it. I'm like, "Ugh, this could be so much better."
yeah. Who have you worked for?
I've done Sony and Adobe.
Adobe. Yep, I've worked for Adobe. But like I definitely want to do more brand deals. I think brand deals are so fun. And I have an agent. She's amazing. She's actually someone who used to work on the Nikon team. And when like her time was up there, she's like, I think I'm just gonna start my own agency and like hot like, you know, sign some of these creators that I really love. And me and Anari and a bunch of other people I love are signed to her and she does an amazing job getting us brand deals and doing things. So if you're looking
Oh,
for an
wow.
agent, let me know.
Okay, I am. Okay, we might have to talk after this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I wanna know, where do you get your inspiration from for your photo shoots? I know you mentioned earlier, like, you'll see somebody else's photos and just think of how you can improve it, but can you kind of, like, walk us through the process of getting ready for a photo shoot?
Yeah, of course. Also just want to say too, like I see other people's photos and I do see how I can change it. I don't really think about it like improving their photos. I think about it just like changing it to fit my style because I'm like, it's not better or worse, it's just different. And I'm
Yes,
like,
that's so
wait,
good.
this is what I would do. Like
Yeah.
I love what they did. And then I'm like, but if I did it this way, it'd be so crazy. I don't really do that anymore just because I feel like I want to be more original than that. I want to have like obviously everything has been done before. Like every shoot has been done before. I did that shoot with a girl in the wheelbarrow, and then somebody sent me a post from some other photographer like 12 years ago who did a shoot with someone in a wheelbarrow. And I was like, oh, I had never seen
Oh,
that, but slay. Like
yeah.
and like things like that. But creativity for me comes from literally anything. Like I'll see like a dress that I really like and I'm like, okay, how can I make that in a shoot? Or I'll see like one time I was driving past someone building a house and I saw them putting up drywall and I was like, oh wait, drywall could be a cool thing to use. Like it's just so random and it comes from all over the place. Pinterest is a really good place to look for just like bits and bobs of things that you can like bring into shoots to add more texture or color or like vibrancy. Sometimes I'll pull like 20 different things together and make a shoot out of that. Um, but I think it's really important to be like yourself when you create. Like in the beginning, I did a lot of like recreations or inspired by people, and that was like part of the growing process. Is like I don't
Mhm.
know how to come up with ideas, so I'm going to do this and just tag them and give them credit for it. But once you start finding your style and finding your thing and like your niche, the things that you love to do, then it's kind of like, okay, now like I need to start building my own resume of things that I can say I created by myself. And nature inspires me a lot. Flowers inspire me a lot. I love shooting with flowers, like 10 out of
Yeah, I
10.
love all of your flower photo shoots.
Thank you. One of my content day that I'm doing is all flower based. So the whole thing is
Stop. Oh,
every
that's
shoot's
gonna
gonna be
be
flowers.
so good.
I know, I'm so
Yes.
excited. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited about that. But creativity comes from everything, like literally furniture. Like I bought these
Mhm.
chairs. I have chairs sitting here, and they were like fuzzy and white, and I was like, "Ooh, how can I use that?" And I did. I used them in a shoe, and then like just random things. I'm a big texture and color person, so seeing texture of something, I'm like, "Ooh, that would photograph so well. How can I like make that a thing?" Yeah.
So when you see one thing, excuse me, when you see one thing that inspires you, like the chair, where do you go from there? Do you think about location? Do you think about outfit? Like, do you kind of hold it in the back of your mind and wait for something else to inspire you?
I So like for the chair, like the floral chair thing I did, like for that, I'm like, and also that is another shoot I did where someone was like, wait, someone has done this before, but so shout out to From the Daisies because she did it way before I did. But I just see like the like I see a chair and I'm like I want to use that, and then I'm like okay, where would be like a place to put this chair that would be really pretty, but also like it would feel out of place but in a pretty way. And then I'm like okay, a
Oh,
lake,
I love that. Out of
and
place,
then
but in a pretty way.
yeah, like I want
That's so
things.
good.
Yeah, I want things to feel like I want people to scroll on their Instagram feed and see it and be like, "Oh, that's weird. Like, why is there a chair in a lake?" But also like it works, like and bringing in those different textures of like the ripples of the water is going to be a different texture than like the fabric of the chair. And then adding the flowers adds even more texture and more color. And then for like wardrobe, I was like, I either want you to have something that matches the flowers so it can like play together or something that matches the chair so it can play together. Um, and then just going from there and like building all of that up. And I also use Canva to like make mood boards a lot. Like I'll screenshot things
Mm.
or I'll take a picture of the chair and upload it into Canva and I add everything into like a mood board where it's just like, do these things work together? And I'll put them all like together in a mood board and look at it and be like, there's something out of place and figuring out what that is and removing it and replacing it with something else. And like doing that really helps me like build a concept out.
That's really good advice because I feel like having a good photo shoot really comes down to how well you like plan for it and
Yeah.
with all the elements looking good together because yeah, like
Yeah.
obviously it's your skill and I like to like challenge myself like can I just go into a random environment and get good photos? But a lot of having good photos comes down to the color palette and
Mhm.
textures like you're saying. And I feel
Yeah.
like just the more you do that, the better you'll get at it. Like you said,
Yeah.
like you started being inspired by others and now you're just finding inspiration from everywhere, which
Yeah.
is really cool.
And I feel like styling is so important and people don't have fun with their styling. Like people don't branch out of like what they're comfortable with. Like I see this especially in like couples photography is like the girl's always in a dress and the guy's always in like a pants and a t-shirt or like it's
Mhm.
always like the same thing, a different font. And like I want it to be something I've never seen. Like I want to try things that are weird. And like for a while I did like colorful tights with bodysuits because it was just like it's not and I did that because I felt like I was really relying on the texture of clothes. Like I was really relying on dresses being flowy so they could throw them or I was really relying on like
Oh,
small patterns or different textures and I was like I need to do something really simple so that I can work on my poses and not rely so much on what they're wearing. um,
wow. So you did that to challenge yourself?
yeah, yeah,
That is really cool.
yeah. Challenging yourself is like, again, when you're uncomfortable, you're growing. So I would put
Yeah.
myself purposefully in a situation where I was like, there are going to be awkward moments where I stand there for 5 minutes, like, hey, I don't know what to do. Give me a minute. Let me think. Like, because
Mhm.
how else are you going to get better? Like, you have to be in those situations to be able to grow and then get to the next like level up of your skill set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how you pose your clients
Yeah.
or any like posing things you can share? Because I love your poses. They're exactly what you said, which I'm trying to remember the exact quote out of place but beautiful. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Like
would
out
say
of
that's
place.
how I would describe the poses too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like out of place, but in a pretty way. Like, I feel like for posing, I started by like looking up like Pinteresting, which Pinterest isn't a super great place to get poses. I mean, it is now because people keep stealing my photos and putting them on Pinterest. But like,
Oh,
um,
but
I would like Google weird I would literally look in like weird posing, like weird photography poses. And
mm,
then things would come up and I'd be like, okay, that doesn't look good, but the reason it doesn't look good is because of the angle. Or that looks great and I
mhm,
love that. I'm gonna try that. And like just really getting into like experimentation. Like experimenting with posing is so fun. And like I think people get scared to do that, especially with like clients who are paying you because they're like, no one's gonna be
yeah.
like, hey, you're paying me $1,000 for this photo shoot. Can you lay on the ground and like, bring your legs up and like look over there and but it's it looks cool. And like sometimes it doesn't. But like I
Mhm.
love the
That's such a good point that you just
yeah.
said. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay to try something because not everything is gonna look good. And I tell
Yeah.
my clients that too. I'm like, can you just try this? And it's okay if it doesn't look good.
No, yeah, literally, I'm like, it doesn't have to look good. Sometimes it doesn't look good, and that's okay. I don't have to send them every single picture I take.
Mhm.
So if we try a pose and it doesn't work, they're not going to remember every single pose we did. So like if we do 40 poses and I send them 30 of them, they're not going to remember, oh, where are those other 10 poses we did? They're just going to be
Yeah.
like, oh, these are cool. Like I love these, like so just
Mhm.
branching
And
out,
sometimes
experimenting. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, and sometimes they're hesitant. They're like, "I don't wanna do that," but then it's their favorite picture. You're like,
Yes.
"Oh, this is the photo."
Yes, and also like I find that a lot like a lot of my clients come to me because they're like, I don't want the like generic like poses that I see everyone do. I want to look weird. I want it to feel like stylized in a weird way. And like my clients come to me now, like I very rarely have clients come to me and say no to something. Now I've built up a clientele base and like a reputation for people to come to me and say, I don't care what your prices are. I want to book you and do something weird. And like I just trust the process. And like
Wow.
that's where you will get to if you experiment and you have fun because then people are going to start noticing that like your style is coming out and your style is different and different is good. And like
Yeah.
that's another thing about like social media, going back to that really quick, not scrolling on social media all the time lets me be more creative because scrolling on social media, I start to see these other photographers who are big and successful. And I'm like, oh, but they're so much more like simple and clean and like,
Mm,
styled differently. And I start to feel like, well, maybe I should do that because they're doing really well. And it's like, no, like what makes me me is that it's different and that it's not always perfect and clean. And like, I like that about me. And so I try not to scroll on Instagram really. I scroll on TikTok for days, girl, but like
yeah.
Instagram because it just like it kind of stifles that creativity and being able to get away from photography and take a step back and not be in it all the time makes me more creative.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Yeah.
such a good point. I love that.
Oh,
Do
thank you.
you when you post groups, did you let me see, how am I trying to say this? How do you pose groups, I guess? Like, did you have any struggles from posing one person to posing multiple people?
Oh, I
Because
mean,
your group
yes.
photos are so beautiful. Like the way that your models in your group photo shoot just work together, like you create space between them in some of them, but then in some they're like all wrapped together and you just do it
Uh-huh.
so beautifully. So I would
Thank
love to know
you.
like your process on that.
Thank you. Yeah, so in the beginning, it was definitely really uncomfortable and weird.
Okay,
But
good.
yeah,
Thanks.
I
I feel
mean,
better.
no, anytime you do anything, like anything new, especially in
Yeah.
photography, if you're working with people, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be weird. But like, again, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I think for posing groups, it's really important to just keep like the energy right. And so
Mm,
I'm always just like, which this is just naturally who I am anyway. I'm a yapper. I love to talk. So I'm just like talking the whole time. I'm like, you guys are doing so good. Okay, we're going to do this. And like, I will pose with one of them and say, okay, I want you guys to do this. And if something's not right and I can't like communicate it because I can't figure out what it is, I'll be like, hey, can you just move for a second? Are you guys comfortable with me like showing you what to do? This is what I want. And they'll be like, yeah, period. And so I just kind of direct them, and the whole time I'm just like reminding them that like they're doing a great job. And I'll just straight up say, I know this is uncomfortable. I know this is weird, but I promise it'll look good. And if it doesn't, we don't have to post it. We don't have to see it again. Like,
mhm. Yeah.
and like bringing that up while you're shooting something like that is important too, because it's just like everyone's like a little insecure and like, oh, what is this? Like, I feel stupid. And it's like, it's okay if you feel stupid. This is a safe space to feel stupid. We're just trying something out. We're experimenting. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. Like, you don't ever have to see this picture again if you don't like it. Like, and then like doing a shot and then being like, do you guys want to see this? And I'll show everybody the shot and I'll say, is there anything you want different? Is there something you want to do that you think would look better or like that you would change so you feel more comfortable and like more pretty or whatever? And collaborating with them in that as well as like helpful to make everyone just feel like a cohesive group, especially when
Yeah.
most of my group shoots, I would say all of my group shoots, most of the girls have never met before. They show up and I'm like, okay, everyone introduce
Oh,
yourselves.
really? I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
that. You make
yeah.
it they, like, flow so well together in the
Yeah, thank
photos.
you. Yeah, no. So like when everyone shows up, I'm like, okay, so I'm Michael. We're doing this. Okay, now like you guys introduce yourselves too. Amazing. And we'll talk for a minute. And then I'm like, okay, are you guys ready? And I also, before every group shoot, every shoot in general too, I say, if there's ever a moment where you're uncomfortable and you need to stop or you don't want to do something, it's okay to say that. It's more important for you to be comfortable and feel safe than it is for us to get a photo. So like if at
Yeah.
any point I ask you to do something and you don't want to do it, say that. That's okay. And I start every group shoot like that because sometimes I'm like, girl, can you stand on one leg and put your foot over here and like, and they're like, no, like um
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
just
so good. Just setting the
communication
expectations.
and
Yeah.
communication. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, that was so good.
Thank you.
Okay, what do you what do you want people to feel when they look at your photos?
Um I don't think I have a specific thing I want them to feel. I think I just want them to feel something. Like
Oh, yeah.
art is meant to make people feel things and like I don't have a specific feeling I want people to feel. I just want them to look at that and feel something, whether that's like a positive feeling like joy or like something that society looks at as like a negative feeling like, sadness or anger. Like
Mhm.
I just want there to be an emotion and like art is so subjective. So like I can create something and say, this photo shoot is like, a sad photo shoot. I want it to feel sad. But then someone else can look at it and be like, oh my God, that's so joyful. Like
Mhm.
it's so subjective. And I think that's part of the beauty of it too, is like hearing what other people experience when looking at them is so fun and like eye-opening. And it's not that I don't care what people feel. It's more that I just want them to feel. It's the specific emotion doesn't matter as much to me, just as long as you get something from it. Like, that's really what I care about.
That is beautiful, and I feel like that's honestly the purpose of art, is
Yeah.
to get people to feel something, and I would describe your style as very emotional, like, not even sad emotion, but emotions, which
Yeah.
is, like, what you were saying, so that is just such a good explanation.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, like, I feel like that's what people are drawn to too, is just that emotion, and, yeah, whenever I see something that I wanna recreate, it's like I can't exactly explain, but I feel something, and I just need to
Get it
express
out.
this feeling.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's so good. Okay, what is something that you wish you would have known when you were just starting out?
I think something I wish I would have known is that couple things. Don't compare yourself to other people because photography is an art and art can be literally anything. You don't have to fit into any box. You can literally do whatever you want. Um, and that is art. Whether people like it or not doesn't matter. It's your art and that's your thing and that's beautiful and just create what you want to create. Um, and kind of adding to that, there are going to be other people in the community who tell you how to do things or when to do things or the correct way of doing things. And none of that is 100% a rule. Like it's art and there's no rules. You can do whatever you want. And you don't have to listen to someone just because they've been doing it longer than you have. Um, like yes, there are people who will be there for you and help you through like camera settings or whatever, but you don't have to conform to what their standard of art is because then you're just doing what they're doing. And I think listening to people and their advice is always there's always something to learn from it, but don't take it as 100% rule fact. I have to follow this because you need to go outside the box. You need to try things that aren't like the stereotypical photographer rule book so that you can find what you want. So breaking out of those boundaries and those rules set by just the society of photographers, like the community, is really important. And yeah, be yourself,
Yeah.
break the rules, be crazy, do it.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Michael. Can you tell everyone where they can find you and your work?
Yeah. So Instagram, it's Michael_Betzner photography. That's where I post all my stuff. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, you can follow me on YouTube if you want. It's the same thing. I'm just not doing as much photography on there, more just being a little crazy nut job. But like, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here, Michael.